So let's see if we can get some people in here. But yeah, we are live. Antonis is in here. Let's pull this comment up. Hello, Antonis. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in.
What's up, man?
Thank you for stopping. If you don't know Garrett, by the way, go subscribe to his channel. I'm going to leave all that stuff down in the description. Oh, awesome guy. Awesome guy. But yeah, guess we'll get started. We'll see when people start coming in. But let's see. Have you seen, this is not one of the questions I have, but have you seen any movies lately that you could recommend?
Nothing new. I haven't seen anything new or current. A couple good ones I saw. I did some blind buys on some of these sales. I'm trying to think. I posted about a couple movies that I was like, man, this was really good. Shoot, what was it? I just posted about it too. It was
you saw
Scream for Help. Scream for Help from Scream Factory. Dude, so good. So good. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Good. I've seen it. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. That was a good movie.
I don't know how I did not see that for so long.
Yeah, Doug brought it over once. All right, we got another triple feature in here. I demand my daily Justin fix. Well, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, triple feature. Here's my buddy Garrett, by the way, Born to be Rad. So
what's up, man? Welcome.
Welcome. So I guess we'll get started and just have people start coming in.
Sure.
But anyway, guys, it's Ryan 1988 or Justin, my second live chat. Love the first one. I've loved doing these live chats. So I am so happy to have a buddy of mine on my second show. Very excited. For me, I've known this guy for quite a long time, some years now. But now he's been making videos since October of last year. And that is Born to be Rad or Garrett. What's going on, buddy?
What is up, man? Thank you so much for having me. Episode 2, I get to be already on episode 2. That's thrilling for me, to be quite honest with you. What's up, man? I see somebody chiming in. Art, what is up? Welcome.
What's going on, Art?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, dude. Like, I'm sure we're gonna get into it. But yeah, we've been friendly for a while, and it's so funny because we never really met except for, like, I think Facebook or social media or something kind of got us chatting. I don't remember exactly what it was, but funny story is I actually pulled up, I'm sure you saw it, my last video was about my old movie room in a house that I no longer live in, where I almost wanted that to kind of be my first YouTube video back in 2015. And that whole concept kind of went out the window, and I wanted to kind of step by step walk you through building this after leaving my first house. And that was going to kind of be the introduction to my YouTube. So it was a long time coming. It was something I wanted to do for a while, and it just was like not the right place, right time. But when I went back to pull that footage on an old inactive channel, you were commenting underneath like then, and that was in 2015. So definitely have known you since then for sure.
Oh yeah, man. No, I remember that video. I was like, Garrett's posted a video. This is awesome. I thought the room tour was fantastic. So it was really cool that you posted it the other day. So really, really awesome. We got some other people in here. Hey, Ali, how are you? Hopefully I'm saying the name right. I'm so bad sometimes at butchering names. I apologize. But what's going on, people? What's up? What is going on? How are you all doing? Thank you guys for stopping in. We really appreciate it, guys. But yeah, so we're gonna just get started with some questions. So talk about your channel, like, the new channel you've had up since last October, I believe.
Yeah, so the channel is Born to be Rad, BORNBE. No, jeez, I'm screwed up. BORN 2BERAD. So yeah, it's a new channel I started in October. It's actually really my first real channel. I had a channel in 2015 that I posted like one video, I think another video too, which was more of like one of my indie wrestling matches or something, but nothing of quality content. And I was moving at the time, and you know, it was one of those things where I was really starting to get in the scene. I had met Wes and Piz Owl, and I was doing a little show with them called WrestleManiacs on YouTube. And that was kind of my introduction to, you know, the whole YouTube scene as far as being on it. I've been watching YouTube for years, which I'm sure we can kind of get into that as well. And it was just kind of like the pandemic happened, and, you know, I had my son and I was off from work for about 12 weeks and during the pandemic. And I'm looking around my house and being like, wow, I have all this stuff. And with work being so hectic and I'm never home, and having a 1-year-old at the time, I said, you know, I'm not spending any time like enjoying this stuff that I've collected for so long. And I was still getting packages in because I was still ordering stuff. And it was like, it was just sitting in piles. Like I wasn't even watching the movies. Collectibles were like collecting dust. And I just kind of figured, you know what, like I have all this new equipment, because if anybody doesn't know, I'm like a fitness coach and fitness trainer and all that stuff. So I bought all this equipment to do virtual type workouts during the pandemic. And I felt like, you know what, like, let me, you know, utilize this equipment, utilize, you know, all this stuff that I have, and let me create this channel finally and start going back to all this stuff that I was so passionate about for so long and collecting, and, you know, almost just give it a new life, and using the YouTube, you know, community to kind of ramp up, you know, me falling back in love with a lot of this stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you started making videos, because I know, for like you said, you did that room tour in 2015, which does not seem that long ago at all. Like when you said 2015, I'm like, what? I
know,
I remember that. So, and I remember I think a lot of people wanted you to start posting videos. So I'm glad you're doing it now, man. And I said, you know, I've said this before, I think you're doing an awesome job. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. What's going on, Ryan? Jason Beyond the Realms is in here. What's going on, buddy?
Schnee, what is up, man?
What's going on? I love Jason. So Triple Feature says this. Both of you have rooms that I envy. So
it took a long time, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I remember like my first thing was like a Rob Zombie poster and maybe a Nightmare on Elm Street poster. Like 2008. That's what I had. And I had like the Chucky dolls. That's about it.
And which, again, the Chucky doll for me was one of those things where I'm so happy to have it. You can see it right there, the Trick or Treat Studios one. For years, I was kind of getting by with like the not really life-size ones that McFarlane was doing and all that other stuff. And I was always like, oh my God, why can't we get an actual like screen accurate sized one? And finally it came. So that was something I was wanting since the day I started collecting this kind of stuff. And, you know, it all started at my house, at my parents' house, you know, with posters and stuff. And then when I bought my first house, I started there. And again, it grows and you come up with new ideas, and it just takes a lot of years of just, you know, collecting this kind of stuff. And, you know, it didn't happen overnight. I mean, I've been collecting for probably 20 years, even just movies and props and collectibles and autographs and all that kind of stuff. So it takes a while to kind of get what you want. And I kind of feel like now I do. So it just is kind of a, you know, perfect circle.
Well, I love the background with your posters and everything. It's pretty amazing. So pretty amazing. I remember my Chucky dolls were like this. Spencer's had like the Bride of Chucky and Chucky. And I had those, and I wish I still had the boxes. I mean, when we moved, those boxes, like we had a roof leak and like it tore up those boxes. Thankfully, I still have the dolls with me, and they're like right there beyond this camera. So it's behind the camera. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, those Spencer dolls were like the closest thing to screen accurate for a long time. And I had the Tiffany one for a while. And I can remember just seeing those, you know, so much. And which is funny is I can remember going to the mall and seeing those. And I remember seeing the Glenn one. And me being like, oh, those are cool. Man, I would give anything to have that Glenn. That Glenn is worth like a ton of money. And I can remember walking by that thing many, many times and kind of like snickering, like, oh, they have a Glenn doll. And, you know, I wish to this day I would have grabbed that thing, because that is very hard to come by. And I know Trick or Treat Studios just did a new one, which is probably making the older one not as valuable. But for a long time, that Glenn doll was something that was really sought after by a lot of people.
Yeah, I remember passing up that Glenn doll several times. Like, it's going to be here if I want it. And 1 year, oh, great. All right, let's see. Art says this. Let's see. He says, Justin, do you have the Annabelle doll? I do not, from Trick or Treat. I was tempted to getting that. The Annabelle doll. Do you have an Annabelle doll, or do you know about this?
I don't have Annabelle either. Nope.
Let's see. Art says, yeah, lighting is great. Garrett, very cool and atmospheric. He says your lighting is great and it's very cool and atmospheric. So very cool.
Thank you very much. We were talking about this earlier. It's trial and error. It's trial and error. It's different lighting, trying different things, buying different lights. And even if you go back, I've only been doing this less than a year, but as you see each video, like you start to see like things start to progress and alter a little bit, like how it looks from just my first video to the next, to the next, to the next. So I'm always trying new things. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. I tell you what, I don't know if you remember this, but my very first videos were like 1 minute and 30 seconds, very quiet. But like the ones that I remember the most are I had a mini laptop and I had a webcam in it, but all my videos were out of sync. So for like the very first like year, I had like out of sync videos. And yeah, that's how it all started. Let's see. Triple Feature says Spencer's Gifts getting a shout out. Yeah, Spencer's, they, you know, Halloween time. I remember coming up October, you would find some really cool stuff in there. Really, really cool stuff.
Oh man, no doubt. I was talking about this. I think I did a video with Uncle Bill from Dead Pit. We were talking about like NECA toys and stuff like that. And I can remember going to the mall and going into Spencer's and them having like a lot of horror stuff and NECA toys like way before other people did. And it was like McFarlane stuff. And I think I have a McFarlane Chucky I got from there. I believe I bought it for my wife, like for Christmas one year when we first met or something. And I bought also this young Michael Myers like doll. It's very similar to the Chucky one or like the Tiffany one, but it's Michael Myers, the boy with like the clown mask, and it's got like the real hair. And it's probably like 3 feet tall, maybe. And I still own that thing. And I think that's another one that I've never seen it anywhere besides Spencer, and I bought it. And I think that's worth quite a bit now because I don't even ever see those things around.
Yeah, I remember those, and I almost bought it myself, and I wish I would have because I remember Spencer's had those. Yeah, Spencer's, Toys R Us. Like I remember when Toys R Us was around, you can get like horror movie NECA figures from their store, which was pretty cool. But yeah, not Triple Feature. Spencer's loved it. Let's see. Every mall. All right, Triple Feature says every mall business is dying, and Spencer's Gifts is still here, still in proof. So yeah,
it's true. Like, can you believe that they're still here?
Yeah, my mall crazy. That I have near me, like they've taken out FYE, they've taken out a lot of stores, and Spencer's is still around. Like they're still doing great. So very cool. Right. Well, next question I have for you is favorite horror movie and why? So what do you have a favorite horror movie that you can think of and why?
Yeah. So again, I talked about this before on my channel recently that it's hard to, when someone says what's your favorite horror movie, it's almost like funny for me to say this because in a way it's like horror, but it's not, I don't know. It's just, it's not gory or anything like that. So for me, Lost Boys is no doubt my favorite. And if I had to say a close second, it's Fright Night, no question. So those two are like my main two horror movies or go-to movies. You know, obviously I love Halloween and Friday the 13th movies and stuff like that. Love all those, but I think if I had to narrow it down, Lost Boys is number one and Fright Night's very close second for me.
I love them both. You know, Lost Boys, when I first saw it, I think I saw a little bit of it on TV, and as a kid, it scared me. I think it was the scene where you finally see them in their vampire face. Like that freaked me out as a kid. Did not watch it for a while, but it's one of my favorites now. And Fright Night was the same way. I remember when I first saw it as a kid, I was freaked out by it, but over the years, like I would watch it more and more and more. Absolutely love it. That's top 3 for me, at least right now. So love it. What is going on, Jill? Let's see. We got some more comments coming in. Jill, How are you doing, Jill? What's going on? Thank you for stopping in. Thank you all for stopping in. Jill, this is Garrett, by the way. Subscribe to him if you haven't yet. He's got an awesome channel. Awesome
What's up,
channel.
Jill?
All right. Jason says, you can't go wrong with The Lost Boys and Fright Night, two classics that never get old. That's right. They never get old.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the movies, you got the actors, the music, though. Like, the soundtracks are fantastic.
Right.
Love the soundtracks.
Both of them, too. Yep.
Love them. All right. So next question I have, and by the way, guys, if you have questions, start asking us questions. Ask Garrett questions. Go ahead and do that, guys. So I wanted to throw something in here because I know you're a fan of 80s movies like myself. But what are 5 of your favorite non-horror movies from the 80s?
All right. Let's get them out of the way. Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Teen Wolf, that's 3. Let me see. Karate Kid, Teen Wolf. So those are easy ones. Then there's a lot of really obscure ones that I just absolutely love. One, if you guys haven't checked out, Firstborn. It's with Peter Weller and Corey Haim, and it's super, super underrated, and it's super cool, and it's one of those movies that I can watch all the time. And it does have a Blu-ray. Actually, you know what? I think, Justin, you recently got the Blu-ray, didn't you?
I did. Yes, I did. I think it was going out of print. I think when you guys talked about it, either you mentioned that it was going out of print or it was out of print. So I looked that up and grabbed it. That was a great movie. Great movie.
Oh, super cool movie. Yeah, it's really good. And then another one, I'm a big fan of The Burbs. I don't know if we would classify that as horror or not, but I'm a big fan of The Burbs. Then you have, Goonies, and big fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original movie. Big fan of that. RoboCop. I'm a big fan of RoboCop. Yeah, we'd say Jaws, the movie, is a horror. So, but yeah, those, and any of those teen movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Huge fan of that movie as well. Definitely one that I check out pretty much once a year, no question.
Love Fast Times. The Criterion, I think you've just picked it up. Did you watch The Transfer? I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, I thought The Transfer was fine. I did not own the other Blu-ray because I always heard that it was very bare bones, and so I never pulled the trigger on that. So I don't know how it compares to the original Blu-ray, but what I was excited about for the new Fast Times was that it finally released the television cut, which is the one that I watched a lot as a kid and remember quite fondly. So when I first got the movie on DVD, I was like, where's this scene? Where's this other scene? And, they weren't there. It's because I was so used to the television cut. So there's a lot of different scenes that is missing from the theatrical, and the television cut's really cool because, they take out the swears from the theatrical cut and they kind of dub in new words. And it's so funny that it's one of those things that's just like, I love it. Like, for instance, Spicoli's knocking on the door to the classroom, and in the theatrical version, he says, "This guy's been stoned since the 3rd grade." And then in the television version, he says, "This guy's been weird since the 3rd grade." And I just always thought that it was super funny, some of the stuff that they dubbed in there.
I love that one. I'm thinking Legend of Billie Jean was one I grew up with. Love that.
Very good. Yep.
Speaking of TV versions, 16 Candles. I don't know if you ever saw the Arrow edition where they showed the TV version, but you talk about Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I remember as a kid watching 16 Candles on TV. And there were scenes in the television version that when I went to go watch it on DVD, I'm like, where are those scenes at? And the Arrow video version has both versions of the film. So I thought that was really cool.
Well, you know what? I have the Blu-ray of 16 Candles. I don't know who put it out. Maybe it was Paramount or Universal. I forget who put out the original one. So I did not buy the Arrow one because I'm like, I've already got this on Blu-ray. I don't need it. Well, I think you just sold me on it, man. So I might be double dipping just to get that television version because I don't recall it, but I would love to see it.
Yeah. I remember Arrow just did their Easter sale, and I was like, it was like $15.99. I'm like, I'll grab it for that because I had the old Blu-ray too. And I'm like, it's an Arrow version. I'll pick it up. Arrow video version. There we go. And it was great. Great transfer. So we had a question real quick that I want to get back to. Let's see. The 80s are awesome. Art says, "What is your guys' favorite decade for film? What's your favorite decade for film?"
80s, easy.
Yeah, for me too. I grew up mostly in the 90s, but for me, it was about my parents recording movies on a VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I saw like Legend of Billie Jean. Teen Witch was still one of my all-time favorites. What are some other great ones that I remember? Renting some at the video store, like Grease 2. Like I was a Grease 2 fan. So many others. I'm trying to think of so many great ones. And then like later on, I think just because I grew up with them, I got to see License to Drive, and I got to see Just One of the Guys, which
I love it. Love it.
That was one I saw on a VHS tape, but VHS tape was Just One of the Guys. So, I mean, I love that movie. That I can quote that movie. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's another go-to if anybody hasn't seen that.
Go see Just One movie. Yes, it is. That is a great movie. And you did a rad recommendation. So I'm going to leave that down below. Yeah. Just go watch it, because if you guys don't know Just One of the Guys, such a great video that you guys did.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Somebody said, Art says, Alien franchise or Star Wars franchise? Which one's your favorite?
I'm going to have to say Star Wars. I love Alien and I love Aliens, but that's about as far as it goes for me. Like I wasn't really into 3. The one where she has the baby, I wasn't really into that one. And then honestly, like I haven't seen any of the newer ones. I lied, because if you count Prometheus, I did see Prometheus, and I actually thought that was pretty good. But I haven't seen like any of the Aliens versus Predators or anything like that. Maybe the first one, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Star Wars too. I think as a series itself, I just absolutely love them, or universe. But I do love the Alien movies. Prometheus was one of my favorites from the last decade. Yeah, last decade. So
yeah, that was a good movie.
It really was. Triple Feature says, which let's see. Nobody can step to the rapping in Teen Witch. Top that. I know.
Top that.
Top that. I remember that. He was so funky in that movie. That's like my older sister, whenever because we both grew up with Teen Witch, and if she ever wants to send me like any clip, she'll randomly send me the YouTube clip of Top That. And
classic.
Classic.
My wife actually showed me that movie, so I didn't see that as a young kid. I saw that for the first time with my wife. She loves that movie, and we first started dating. That was one that she showed me. So props to her. But yeah, love it.
Yeah, love it. Love Teen Witch. That Kino Lumbar Blu-ray is fantastic.
Love it. I actually think that's out of print now. So if you have it, it's worth something.
And if you don't, look it up. That you might be able to find one for a great price. I just bought because I've never seen this movie, but it was Career Opportunities. I just picked that one up. So never seen that one.
Yeah, that's been sitting in my cart for like a couple weeks. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger. But that's a great movie as well. Yeah.
What's another one that I just got? What is it? It has Leah Thompson, Jenny Wright, Eric Stoltz.
Wild Things or whatever. Yes. The Wild Bunch or something. What is it?
Wild Bunch. That's a really good one. That's a
Wildlife. Wildlife.
Yeah, Wildlife. Great movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
All right. Jason has a question. What do you guys think of Tom Hanks's film Big? Always love that one. I love that movie. That's a great one.
That movie. That was a staple in my childhood as well. I love that movie.
Yeah, I see. That's a movie I didn't see till later on, though. I think I saw it maybe 5 years ago for the first time, and love it. Absolutely love it. Love that one. Great movie. One of his best. And you talk about The Burbs. That's one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies too. So great movie.
So underrated, man. So underrated. Yeah. I saw The Burbs in theaters with my parents when I was, I don't even know. It depends on when it came out. It was 89 or 90, I believe that came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that in the theaters with my parents, and I fell in love with it right away because it was one of those movies where it's not horror, but it's going to touch a horror. And at the time being so young, I was starting to kind of get into horror, but I would say Burbs to me was kind of a gateway into horror movies. Like the same with Fright Night. Fright Night is definitely pure horror, but I saw Fright Night for the first time on network TV, like on like a Saturday afternoon in probably like the late 80s, early 90s, and fell in love with it completely. And Are You Afraid of the Dark was also a big gateway for me. I was obsessed with that show growing up. So I think Burbs kind of falls in that same line. And I don't know what it is about, you know, creepy next door neighbors or whatever, but I always am into the movies like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fright Night. Yeah. The Burbs, great ones. What was one? Return to Oz. Like that was like one of those films that I saw as a kid and was never terrified of it. But I heard a lot of people would say growing up that one freaked them out. But that's a good one. Like if you're getting into horror movies, Return to Oz is a good one too.
Yep.
We had a question up here. We actually got a couple of questions. Let's see. Ollie says, has anyone noticed the value of horror VHS going up each year, especially big box VHS tapes? I do. I noticed some like titles like Halloween, like the very first Halloween VHS tape going up in price. Yeah. I wish I would have kept some of my VHS tapes just for nostalgia reasons, because they do go up in price. It's crazy how much some of them are going for.
Yeah. So what did you do with yours anyways? Do you remember?
I have some left, but so my mom was huge into collecting movies like I am, and we had a ton of VHS tapes. And when my mom was getting into DVD, we sold quite a bit of them, like a garage sale. There were ones I wish I would have kept, like the original Friday the 13th VHS tape, Friday the 13th Part 2. We had some great ones that I wish we would have kept. My mom was wanting to get rid of all her Halloween VHS tapes. I'm like, no, I will take those from you and add them to my collection, because she was just going to throw them out. And I'm like, do not do that. Like the original Halloween VHS tape my mom had, I would watch it every time I would go visit her. And she was going to toss it out. And I'm like, I'm going to keep it. It had the lenticular box.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny that you say all that. Because there was a point in time where you couldn't give VHS away. Like they were like worthless. And, you know, as soon as DVD hit and things started coming out, it's like nobody wanted VHS tapes. I remember going to old mom and pop video stores and basically they were giving them away. And I like grabbed so many horror movies that I had never seen or ones that I really liked and created this huge VHS collection, you know, aside from the VHS tapes that I had as a kid. And that big collection that I built, I actually sold a couple of years later. And man, I sold probably, let's just say probably 100 horror movies on VHS for like $40 or something like that. I like gave it away. I can still remember like meeting some guy and I had trash bags full of them and just handing them to him. And he gave me $40 cash. And I was like, all right, see ya. I need to make space in my room for DVDs. And now I look back on it now and I'm like, what an idiot I am. Like, why would I have done that? And it's funny that we bring up VHS because a video that I'm kind of working on right now is I found a big box of VHS tapes at my parents' house that have a lot of them that I had as a kid. And I was going to do a video kind of going through them. So like right next to me right now, I'm just going to grab a handful in this box and show you, look, I got a whole box of VHS tapes right next to me. I've got Fright Night.
Love it.
I got
what do you got?
Ninja Turtles, the music tour. Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed. Wow.
Another
cool.
Ninja Turtles music tour.
Sweet.
Another cool movie called The Guyver. I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to
Mark
look it
Hamill's in it. It's pretty cool. I think Arrow did a whole edition of it, but it's funny that we bring it up because I'm just looking down and seeing this right here. Oh, dude, you're gonna like this one. Look at this. New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough Live.
What?
Boom. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, what else do I have right here? Oh yeah. I see. Like I haven't really looked at any of these yet.
Oh, you got like one of the originals, I think. That is sweet. I love that.
Still sealed, brother?
Oh, still sealed? What?
It says new release on it. Look at.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Talk about renting movies at a VHS store. That was one of them. Like I would rent it all the time.
I made sure to keep some after I sold most of my collection of VHS, but I made sure to keep some. So when I found this box, I've got just so much crap in here. Like Ninja Turtles cartoons and stuff. Like these are all from my childhood, but I've been meaning to go through that box and do a video on it. So you guys got first glimpse at what's in there. So
I got I found a Wishwood 2, The Devil's Doorway VHS tape.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. Found that. A buddy gave me, I think it's Anchor Bay, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. And it's the one where they're all on they're posing the Breakfast Club style.
Oh,
picture.
I love that. Yeah, I love that one.
I got to go through them because I have some really good ones, some ones that are still not even out on DVD yet. So we got a familiar face and name here.
Oh,
what's going on?
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
What's going on? What's up, guys? So, Neverending Story 4K just came out in Germany. You all going to import that one?
What a ball buster this guy. I love Neverending Story. I have the Blu-rays, but I don't need the 4K from Germany.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I just bought the remastered Blu-ray from a couple years ago. So, I actually saw. I think I saw them evenly, but I remember like seeing Neverending Story Part 2 more than the first one for some reason. Like that one, I remember the most.
Did too. Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah,
that when I think of Neverending Story, first thing I think in my head is Jonathan Brandis. So I must have seen Part 2 a lot more than I remember Part 1.
Same here. I remember Part 2 more than the first one. What's his new Two Ninjas? What's that movie he was in? Jonathan Brandis was in.
He was in Sidekicks.
Sidekicks, that's what it was.
Good, man. So good.
So good. That was one that we had on a recorded VHS tape. I don't even know if it's out. They need to
re-release that. Nope. It never even got to DVD. So that's one that I would love someone to get. I don't know what the problem is and why they don't have it.
I mean, Mill Creek. I mean, even if Mill Creek released it, they're doing a lot of retro movies. So I would buy that one. This is okay. Art says, question here. Just gonna pull this up. Twilight franchise or Hunger Games franchise?
You know what? I am going to say Twilight franchise only because it's the only one I've seen. My wife is a huge fan of it. And honestly, and I might get a lot of hate for this, I didn't hate the first one either. I didn't hate it. The rest I didn't care for. Actually, you know what? I'm not even saying I hated any of them. I didn't love them, but my wife is a big fan of them and I saw all of them and I didn't really have much of a problem with it, to be honest. Hunger Games, I saw the first one, I believe, and I haven't seen the other one. So I have to say Twilight.
Seriously, I'm being serious when I say this. Twilight, I actually overall love that franchise. Like you said, I don't think there's a bad one. Like every once in a while I'll go watch them, and I think I watched them last November and just had a good time with them. Hunger Games, I think I've seen the movies once. So I need to go back and watch them.
What's funny is, as much as everybody shits on Twilight and all that stuff, there was, I'm thinking and I have it's either Rue Morgue or Fangoria, I believe.
Yeah.
They actually put out a magazine because I remember I used to go get the Fangoria magazines and all those magazines at like, was it Borders? Was that the name was there a bookstore called Borders? Did you guys have one of those? Okay. Yes. So that's what it must've been. And I used to go buy a lot of horror magazines. And there was one year when Twilight came out that that movie was on the front of one of those magazines. I don't know. I have it. I just don't know which company put it out, but it's just so funny because everybody's like, oh, that's, it's a romantic movie, but for whatever reason, they made it to the front of one of those horror magazines for some reason. But I just thought it was always kind of a funny thing.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that Fangoria issue, but I like the Twilight movies. I have an entertaining time with them. So what's going on, Pentagram?
I like the dude. What's the bad kid's name? The blonde that was he's in a real cool movie called Never Back Down. If you guys never seen it, Never Back Down's a cool movie. And that guy was like the bad one in the first Twilight. I always thought he was a cool character.
Yeah. I like Cam something. I always forget his last name.
Yeah. He was in another like horror movie or something, I think, back around that time.
I'm trying to think what it was because I saw it once.
I think it begins
He's
with a
in
P.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember.
Pandorium or something like that.
Pandorium. I just bought that.
Is that
There
what
we
it's
go.
called? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Pandorium. I just bought
Yeah.
that. So, um,
Yeah.
so what's going on, Pentagramma? Thank you for coming in, guys. And if I go through these questions or comments slow, I am so sorry, guys. Getting used to
What?
it.
Pull up Dead Pits.
Pull up Dead Pits. Let's see. All right. Triple Feature first says, I just saw the movie From Beyond for the first time. What are your thoughts? I love it. From Beyond.
Love it. Love it.
Love
Doesn't
it.
it remind you of this background right here? All the pinks and purples and whatnot.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We got love for Twilight here.
Oh, so you're the one of the people that shit on Twilight.
I think I saw maybe 2 of them or 3 of them in theaters. I have no shame in saying I love them. Let's see. Triple Feature says, I don't like Twilight, but Robert Pattinson is my favorite working actor today. He's done a lot of great stuff. The Lighthouse, that was a really good one. I like The Lighthouse.
Was cool, yeah.
Yep. Art says, oh, the guy from Burlesque, Cam. Yes, he was in Burlesque. I remember him from that one too. That's another one of my favorites. I do love that.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Burlesque? Was fun. Burlesque was a good time. Ollie says, my dog looks like the dog from the Neverending Story. Really?
Nice.
Wow.
Alcohol.
Wow. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Okay, so I got a question for you. Going back. Favorite movie theater memories. Do you remember the first movie you saw in theaters or some of your first ones that you remember seeing in theaters that you have good memories?
Yeah. I mean, I can remember seeing Ghostbusters 2 in theaters. I can remember seeing Batman, the first one in theaters. So Ninja Turtles was, I mean, to me, and I know that I'd glanced at your video, your first one you did with Nick. I kind of watched that the other day. So I know that you guys were talking about kind of movies that you remember as a kid and, what was your favorite movie theater experience? And I just think for me, it was those childhood movies like Batman 89. Like, who can say that they saw that in theaters? And as a kid so young, like that was so mind blowing to me to see it. Yeah. That Batman 89 movie in theaters was just, I was just obsessed with Batman for years. Trying to think of some other ones that I were just life-changing for me. Like, as stupid as it is, The Wizard was another one for me, which I can remember that whole day, going to see that movie because I was such a Nintendo fanatic at the time, going to see The Wizard and seeing Super Mario 3 for the first time and like going nuts with my brother. I can remember seeing that. Again, like I said, The Burbs was another one I remember seeing. Ghostbusters 2 was huge. I saw Karate Kid, but not the original. I saw that later. They did like a re-release, but I can remember seeing the sequels in theaters, loving that. Back to the Future 2. I was in Florida visiting my grandmother when that got released, and I can remember us going to Pizza Hut and getting those cool-ass glasses and then going to watch Back to the Future 2 in theaters. Like, these are all memories that are just embedded in my brain from God knows how long ago, but, definitely some experiences in the movie that, like I said, I'll never forget. And I was probably only, 8 or something when those came out.
I think for me, the one that I mentioned.
What's up, brother?
The one that I mentioned quite a bit, I would have to say, is Hocus Pocus. I saw that in theaters, 93. We saw it at my local theater that we still have. But I also saw it at the drive-in, which was like my last drive-in experience.
I was just going to say, I saw Hocus Pocus at the drive-in. I didn't see it in a theater. It's crazy. Yes. So crazy. So awesome. Another one I saw in the drive-in, not the theater, was Beetlejuice, and I'll never forget that either.
Oh, did you?
I saw Beetlejuice at the drive-in. I think it was a double feature with Caddyshack or Caddyshack 2. So I could be wrong on that. I'd have to look at the time frame of when those movies came out, but I do recall seeing Caddyshack and Beetlejuice, and I saw Hocus Pocus, and I wish I could remember what else I saw Hocus Pocus with. I would love to look back and see what came out around that same time and, kind of pinpoint that. Cause I don't know how it is where you are, but it was just a double feature where I lived.
Yeah.
Always.
I think it was always a double feature. Sadly though, like the one that we had in the town that I grew up in, is torn down now. So I literally, the last one I saw was Hocus Pocus back in
Wow.
'93.
Ours is still up, to be honest. We have one here that's still up. Yep.
Adam's Family Values, I saw that in theaters. Home Alone 2, saw that in theaters. Some great memories.
So Home Alone 1 in theaters on my birthday. Must have been my birthday. Yep.
Nice. All right. So we got Nick in here, by the way, my co-host for Haddonfield Alumni High, or Haddonfield High alumni. What's going on, Nick? Thank you for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, Nick's awesome. Nick is an awesome guy. So
I don't know how I'm going to follow up that, but if you keep going with some of these same questions that you gave him, he might want to stick around.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Pentagramma says he saw Silver Bullet, Demons, Jason Goes to Hell, The Exorcist, I guess the uncut version, and Ghostbusters 2. Sweet. Sweet.
I have a question for him. So I saw Ghostbusters 2 in theaters. I was a little kid. Is The Exorcist uncut? Is that the never before seen one that they re-released in like probably the late 90s, early 2000s? Because I definitely went, and man, that was actually the first time I ever saw Exorcist, and I was already into horror at that point, but for some reason I never saw Exorcist. And when they re-released that in theaters, I went to see it, and I was like blown away by it.
I didn't see The Exorcist until I would say like 19, maybe. My mom, I think when she was a kid, saw it when it first came out, and it terrified her. Like, she tells me the stories how she had to go to the hospital after seeing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm staying away from that for a while.
Dude, like this is why I love doing this stuff and having these kind of conversations, because when something's said and it kind of opens up, like you said, when I was about to tell you I saw Hocus Pocus in the drive-in and you said it, it's like, what the mind blown, right? And so the reason I never saw The Exorcist, in being a big fan of horror, was because my uncle was the one who got me into horror originally. And Exorcist scares him to death. So he never showed me that. He never owned it. Like, he was showing me Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th Part 3 when I was probably like 5 years old, and my dad telling him to stop showing me that stuff. But he never had Exorcist 3, because it still to this day is like, it scared him so much as a kid that he was traumatized and never can watch it. So that's why I never saw that one until I was old enough to go, either rent it myself or go to the theater when they re-released it, because he was so scared of it as a kid that he never wanted to watch it ever again.
Wow.
And he's like probably the biggest horror fan out of anybody I know, and he still is. Like, he was, he had little features in Fangoria back in like the 70s and stuff like that. So it's just funny that he's that, he just can't watch it. He can't stomach it.
So Pentagramma, I think he saw the uncut version. So I would say that was like 1999, maybe, or 2000. I remember when it was re-released. We had a question up here. And Nick, thank you, buddy, for stopping in. I know you work today, but I appreciate you coming in. Guys, again, if you guys haven't subscribed to Garrett's channel, I'm going to leave all that stuff down below. Go subscribe to Born2BeRad. So he's an awesome guy. Awesome guy. You are awesome. There, I'm talking to you. You're awesome. So
hey, thank you guys. Thank you guys for checking this out, especially if you've never seen me, never heard of me. I appreciate you chiming into our conversations. Oh, that's a good one right there. Nice. Yes, I saw Blair Witch in theaters the first night. And that was one for me that when it was over, I was like, what the hell? And I was kind of really disappointed. And I was like, oh, Blair Witch, that sucked. That was, there was all that hype for nothing. And I'm going to tell you that ending stuck with me for freaking weeks. Every day I would fall asleep and I would think about that ending of him standing in the corner. And then all of a sudden I changed my whole tune and I'm like, shit, man, I've been thinking about this movie for like 2 weeks. That thing scared the hell out of me. And even to this day, I love Blair Witch, but I have a tough time with that ending. Like, it gets into that house and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this. And I remember seeing it as like a teenager and being like, this was so stupid. But it stuck with me, man, and it still does. And that's one of those movies that, I have a tough time kind of watching that ending. It's freaky, man, freaky.
I saw it Blockbuster days, renting it on VHS, and I think we watched it maybe 3 times before we returned it. That is top 5 favorite horror movies for me is Blair Witch. I love it.
It works, man. It works for sure, no doubt. Still,
I think the moment that gets me, the ending's creepy, and I always like have different ideas of what happened at the end. Like, was it the townspeople? Was it a witch? You know, we don't know. But the scene that gets me is when they're in the tent, and it's like the first night maybe,
Kids?
and they're hearing the kids outside. That
dude,
creeped me out.
that still creeps me out too. But
You
being
put
a teenager,
headphones on.
I was trying to be a badass as a teenager. Like, that's not scary. But like then, like I go home and I'm like thinking about it. Like I can't sleep.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's a creepy movie still today. And Tana says the Friday 13th franchise or Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So
For me,
yeah,
Friday 13th.
same here. Same here.
So
Um,
I just find that I enjoy more of them
yeah,
than I do Elm Street. My wife, Elm Street fan, like
Elm
big
Street
time.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Friday 13th too, because even some of like the lesser good ones, because we just talked about this on Monday. I love most of them for nostalgic reasons. But I can sit down and watch any of them and enjoy them. Where Nightmare on Elm Street, there's only one that I don't really care for, and for me personally, it's Freddy's Dead. I am just not a big Freddy's Dead.
It's
I like the Let's
one,
Lock
man.
Gloves. I love the Let's Lock Gloves and everything. I think that's a quote from the movie. Is that what it is? Let's Lock Gloves, where he's wearing like the Freddy glove, like the video game.
Oh,
he says
I said something like "Now I'm playing with power" or something like that.
That's it. That's
something
it.
Like that,
yeah. Let's see. We got a comment here. This charming love hound says, I saw Lost World Jurassic World Part 2 when I was 6, but it was interrupted by a fire alarm. Aw. I saw Tom Hanks in Castaway, and we sat there for 20 minutes, and it was pitch black, and we thought, is this happening? Is this going on in the movie? Like, what's going on here? Like 20 minutes. Didn't see him, and we're like, this is like an awfully long night shot, and turns out like the ball burned. The ball burned the projector. Yeah. So,
but thank you for bringing up Jurassic Park, because that's another classic that I was lucky enough to see in theaters. So Jurassic Park, that was a big one for me in middle school, I think.
I did not see that one in theaters, but I would love if they ever re-release it again. That is one I would love to see in theaters.
So I think what's happening is this little chat is showing our age differences, I think. I think that's what's happening.
Like I said, for me, it was like I saw Aladdin in theaters. Like that's something I saw in theaters.
Actually,
and
I did too, though. I did too. Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hocus Pocus, we talked about that. I used to work at Family Video, and a customer walks in. She wants to rent Hocus Pocus. I said, yeah, I saw that in theaters. And she said, man, you're really old. I said, I am not that old. You're probably close to my age. Okay. Let's see.
Isn't it funny when you start talking to people and realize how much of an age gap there is? And in your brain, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, right? It's super weird.
I know. All right. We got some questions in here. Jill says she loves your room, by the way. So she loves your room.
Thank you, Jill. Appreciate that.
Going through these real quick, guys. Sorry if I'm a little slow at this. I'm gonna get better, I promise. Antana says, what's a horror movie you guys consider a masterpiece? What's a horror movie that you consider a masterpiece, Garrett?
This one people might not agree with. Again, we talked about things like Exorcist, which is no doubt like one of those masterpiece type movies. This was going to kind of come out of left field, but man, I know it's a book, but Salem's Lot to me is, I don't know, like to me, that's just one of those movies. And a lot of people might come off and be like, oh, it's so boring. But the story and stuff alone to me is just like, it's just so well done. I don't know. Something about that movie just has stuck with me for so long, and I could watch it any time. And I just think it's great. Like everything about it, in my opinion.
That movie scares me. Like if there's a movie that freaks me out, not really freaks me out, but like I remember one time I was at home by myself and I watched it, and afterwards I could not go to bed for a while. Like, it's a creepy movie. Salem's Lot. I love it.
It is an interesting word, though, using that masterpiece, because you're not, it makes you really think. And I even think, and as cheesy as it could be or can't be or whatever, but to me, like, I cannot find anything wrong with Fright Night at all. I think the story is so, it's relatable. I think, when you look at the characters, they're relatable. They're great characters. I think that the effects are just top notch. Like, there's nothing about Fright Night that I can go back and be like, it doesn't hold up. Like, to me, Lost Boys is great. And, I would love to still be in that vampire gang and dress that way and all that other stuff. But, you can see in some aspects that it could be dated in a way. But when you look at Fright Night, to me, it's like, man, that feels like it can always work. Always, like, everything about it.
I mean, I agree. I think Fright Night, for me, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That, for me, I would consider a masterpiece. And I know, like, Halloween, some people say you saw, like, John Carpenter, like, cigarette smoke in the camera, but for me, that's a masterpiece. Like, I love Halloween. That's the movie that got me into movies. So Halloween, I love it. Blair Witch Project, I consider it to be a masterpiece. I love that movie. So,
I mean, absolutely. Jaws to me is one, and I'm sure if we sat here and really dug and thought about it, we could come up with like another 10 more. But yeah, those are just the ones that kind of pop into my head right away.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, love it. So Art says, did you guys see the Wrong Turn reboot? I did, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I agree. Cool. Yeah, man, I did a lot, and I kind of like, I was happy with the direction they went, because to me, like, I liked Wrong Turn. It was cool or whatever, but it started to get really bad as it started to go on, in my opinion. Like, I could not keep up with all those sequels. And the fact that they went and did this and made it very different, to me, was a breath of fresh air. In my opinion, I think if it wasn't called Wrong Turn, I think it would have been something that people were talking about now. Like, I can almost see that in a vein of, like, I'm not even going to go this far, but, and speaking of masterpiece, to me, I think Hereditary is right up there for something current that, is just out of this world. But like, I could see it falling in a vein of one of these new modern movies that people are giving all this praise to. Like, I think the Wrong Turn movie was done well. I just think the problem with it is that it was called Wrong Turn.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, I like Hereditary. I thought you were going to say Halloween 3. That's why I gave the thumbs up. But I do like Hereditary. I think that's a good
I like Halloween 3 too.
I think for me, that when I think like franchises, I think the Wrong Turn reboot and how, people kind of were taken back by it. I think of back when Halloween 3 came out and people were taken back by it. So hopefully one day Wrong Turn, the reboot, kind of gets the same kind of love or kind of likability that Halloween 3 has.
I hope so too. And it's just sad that, like, because it's so buried in that franchise now, and it almost, you kind of wish it was, like you said, it falls in the same vein. Like, people always say, like, oh, if it was just called Season of the Witch, it would have gotten a lot more respect. And it's probably true. And I think with this one as well, like, if we can kind of set it apart from the other Wrong Turn movies, I think people are going to actually, like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I did too. It surprised me. It reminded me, and see if this makes sense. It reminded me almost of the original Hills Have Eyes, where it wasn't like the mutated people that we had in the Hills Have Eyes remake, but it was just kind of people living up in the hills. That's kind of what Wrong Turn, the reboot, reminded me of. So, yeah,
I thought it was really good. It kind of almost reminded me of even, not Midsummer, but like, how they had like almost like that cult or whatever. And thought it was just really, really good. So if you haven't checked out Wrong Turn reboot, I think it's definitely worth a watch for sure.
I really enjoyed that. Antana says, are you guys going to see The Purge 5? Not in theaters, but I'll probably see it when it comes out at some point. So,
I agree. Not in theaters, but I'll check it out. That's another one where I like the first one. I like the second, but I start to get really confused of what's what. Like, I don't think I've seen the newest one, which is called First Purge. I don't think I've seen that. I think I own it, but I don't even think I've opened it yet. But I get really confused on like what happens in those. Like, I forget which one is 2, which one is 3. I know one was like an election one, and
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Part 2 was filmed like down the street from my house. Is that the one where they were in like a little convenience store? And that convenience store was like right down the road from my house. My sister-in-law actually worked on that movie. She does makeup. So I think that was part 2. Yeah.
Part two is my favorite. Yeah, eventually I'll see it. The first Purge I was not too crazy about, but I'll eventually see Purge 5. Let's see. Oh, you got a sub now, Garrett. Triple feature. I subbed to Born2BeRad. I'm one
Thanks,
of the
man.
cool kids now. There you go. Let's see. Okay. Art says, are you more excited for the Forever Purge, Candyman, or Halloween Kills? Or Old. That's another one coming out.
Okay, so I was going to post my trailer reaction for Candyman, but I don't know if anybody follows Pizzal, but his brother Jeremy did his own reaction. And when I watched it, I said, "Oh, I can't beat that. That's the best reaction ever." And I deleted my thing. I was like, "Forget it." But I think overall, I want to see Halloween Kills the most, just because it's Halloween, and out of all 3 of those, that's my favorite, universe or franchise, whatever you want to call it. But I actually am really excited for Candyman. And I was actually very impressed with the trailer because I'm not as invested in Candyman as I am, like, let's say Halloween. So if they do or say something when it comes to Halloween, like sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, well, why would they have done that? Like even watching Halloween Kills, to me, I was kind of like, oh, I kind of like my Michael Myers more like the stalkerish Michael Myers, not like the killing machine Michael Myers, where he's more like Jason. So, that's in my opinion. I just still think the trailer looked good for Halloween Kills, and I think the movie's going to be good and it's going to be action packed. But I had a little bit of thing where I was like, it reminds me more of Rob Zombie than it does the original. But when I watched the Candyman trailer, because I don't really have a lot invested in the original Candyman series, I'm very more open to whatever this one is going to be. And I feel like it seemed pretty damn creepy and it seemed cool. And I'm more excited to see Candyman than I thought I would be. And I actually think Jordan Peele does a great job with all of his stuff. And I might be one of the few that loved Us, but I thought Us was a great movie. And I know sometimes it gets a little bit of hate. So I'm down with what Jordan Peele's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jordan Peele too. Us took me a little bit to get used to. The first time I saw it in a theater where everybody was screaming, and I was like, okay, come on, guys. But yeah, I'm a big Jordan Peele fan. I cannot wait for Halloween Kills. I'm trying not to hype myself up too much though, because the last movie I thought was good, could have been better. So as much as I'm excited for that one, I'm gonna go in just kind of just see what it's like. But I thought the trailer was awesome. Candyman is probably my most anticipated of these movies, just because I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this new Candyman. So very excited.
I agree too. And what's funny is you bring up Us. Now, how many times have you seen it now, do you think?
I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. So I own it. Okay. Yeah.
So that movie had me at the beginning, and they're walking around the boardwalk and they look over and it says 1987. It says, hey, look, there's a movie being filmed over there with vampires. And they were talking about the Lost Boys. And from then on, I was like, love it. So if you didn't catch that,
I gotta go back.
Man. So that first scene is on the boardwalk that Lost Boys was filmed, and they kind of shoot to the side and they see like motorcycles and they say, oh, they're filming like some kind of vampire movie over there. And then when they go down the stairs onto the beach, where the girl goes into that little fun house, there's motorcycle tracks on the beach, which, was another nod to Lost Boys. Yeah. So from there on, I was like, dude, this is sick.
I gotta go and watch this again. I've been meaning to check it out. I have to say though, I really enjoy it now. Again, I think I just had a bad theater experience seeing it, but I really enjoy it now. Again, big Jordan Peele fan, but I did not know that about the Lost Boys. So I'm going to go back and watch it soon. Let's see. We got a question here. Brian Goes Blue. Happy belated birthday to you. I hope you had a great birthday, buddy. And you're welcome on the video. I wished him a happy birthday. So, Brian Goes
happy
Blue.
Birthday, man.
Awesome, you what?
I said happy birthday, man.
But yeah, Brian's awesome. Brian and Coco, they're awesome. Brian, go sub to Garrett if you haven't yet. Anybody, go sub to him. He's awesome. Ollie says, let's see. Do you guys think that The Sixth Sense has forever changed the types of horror movies that get released theatrically for most part outside of remakes, of course? Sixth Sense.
Do you think?
I did not see
Do you
that
think
either.
in the sense of it's changed horror movies because why? Because now everybody that comes out's trying to get you that big swerve where that shock factor, like that Sixth Sense did, where it like fooled everybody. So now all these movies are coming out and they're trying to pull a fast one on the audience, kind of thing. I think there's a lot of that. Yeah, I think some people do it well, and I think others do not.
Yeah.
But when it's done right, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan, I am always like, there's films that I love from him, and then there's films I don't. And I think he's even done that since The Sixth Sense. Like, there's movies that have really good endings that he has, and then there's movies that don't. I'm a fan of Glass. I know that movie got a lot of hate, but I actually really enjoyed Glass.
I own it, but I have not opened it yet. And I did like Unbreakable, so it is one that I was like, oh, I'll get to this and watch it, but I just haven't. But I'm talking about Shyamalan, another movie that people kind of shit on a little bit, and I actually really like is Signs. And there's a scene in that movie that still, I can remember being in the theater and watching it and literally getting like chills up and down my spine. And when it comes on, I still will look at it and be like, ooh, it's come kind of uneasy about it. And it's that weird scene where like they're at the birthday party and it's like it's like almost like someone's recording the birthday. And you just hear a kid saying, he's behind. And like this alien like walks across the thing. That scene to me, when I first saw that, scared the living crap out of me, because in my head, I'm like, if shit was going to go down, that's exactly how it would go down. Someone would be recording something and you'll just see this thing walk by, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, shit's going to hit the fan. And I just thought it was just so well done, that one scene, because to me, it was so realistic to like what would happen if aliens started to come here and start coming in. It wouldn't be just like all this craziness. It was going to be something so very minute like that I think is what worked for that. As much as that movie, I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. Like, to me, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a great sci-fi horror movie. But now when you watch it again, you're like, there's some comedic elements to it. So you're not sure if they were trying to even take themselves seriously or not. I have no idea.
Yeah. Signs is a great one. I do love Signs. That I also liked, now I haven't seen it in a while, but I like Lady in the Water. Like, I know that one gets a lot of hate, but I like that one too.
Another one, Village, I hated when I was in the theater, but I've grown to like it a little bit more now than when I first saw it. I was like completely pissed about that whole that swerve. I was like, that's the stupidest thing, but I've kind of grown on me a little bit since then.
Yeah. Village, I have to go back and rewatch. I think I've only seen it once, and I remember like the twist kind of threw me off. So I need to go back and watch that. Antonis says, do you guys think the bees will be CGI in the Candyman or practical?
I would love it to be practical. If it's CGI, at least make it good CGI. CGI, I am not a fan of at all. I hate CGI more than anything. But I just don't understand why, when there's these big budget movies, why some of the CGI looks so bad. Like, that's what's totally taken me out of a lot of these superhero movies, is sometimes when I'll try to watch it, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a video game. I'm like, this is like got the most budget of anything. Why does this look so terrible? And you go back and watch Jurassic Park and you're like, how did they do it so well back then? And like sometimes now they can't even get it right. And so I have a big issue with CGI, but if they do it right and it looks realistic, then I don't care.
Same here. The Abyss came out in 1989 and the CGI still looks great. Terminator 2, like some of the great ones.
Yep, yeah. Terminator 2, yep.
I mean, I could watch Terminator 2 today, and I think it's just came out like last year. Like, it's so good.
You ever try to watch Spawn recently? Check out. Have you ever tried to watch Spawn recently?
No, I have not.
The CGI in that is brutal. I'm like, it was so laughable. I'm like, it almost looks like a computer game from like the 90s is like put in as it's bad, not good.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that since, again, Blockbuster days, so I'm kind of curious to now go watch it again. This charming Lovehound says, I heard The Lost Boys I heard that Lost Boys 4K is coming next year. I saw an image.
I saw that a post. Yeah, I saw that image too. Not sure if it was a fake or real, but I sure hope so.
I would buy it. I would. Oh, Garrett, Steelbook of the Lost Boys on 4K.
That's the image I saw. Yep. It actually, you know what's funny is it actually has like it had like the Fright Rags did a shirt with the same image on it. So that's why I'm not sure if it's legit or not. But I'm definitely down. The Lost Boys Blu-ray was an early release. Is still one of the better looking Blu-rays to date. And it was one of the early Blu-rays. That and House of a Thousand Corpses to me are like one of the two best looking Blu-rays ever. And they came out so early in the Blu-ray game. So 4Ks of either of them, like I'm down.
Me too. I mean, I think it was you that mentioned when I bought House of a Thousand Corpses, it was either you or somebody else talked about how good that looked on Blu-ray. And I'm like, that looked amazing. Like,
it does. I don't know what it is, but it's so nice.
Brian Goes Blue says, thank you for the birthday wish. Born to be rad. He's also subbing to you. So
thanks, man.
This charming love hound says he's subbing to you as well. So thank you guys for subbing to Garrett.
Thanks, guys.
Question I have for you now is, speaking of movie theaters, what are some of your favorite snacks that you loved when you're watching the movie? Like,
definitely popcorn and butter guy, no question. That's always been a go-to. You know what's funny is as a kid, candy was never something that I would get at a movie theater, and I don't think it was because I didn't want it. I think for whatever reason, my parents were like, it's popcorn and soda, and that's like all we were allowed to have. So growing up and going to the theaters on my own, it was never something that I ever gravitated towards because I was just never used to ever getting candy at a movie theater. So to me, it's like would be like a, I don't know, Diet Coke and large popcorn with extra butter. That would be my go-to.
Love those. For me, it's a popcorn. When I go to the movies, I always got to get one of those ices. Like, I love the ices. And then Mike and Ike's, and my friend says, Justin, like, you're very typical. And I'm like, I know. So,
you know, though, Mike and Ike's are good though, man.
They are good. I love them.
Of those, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't get Skittles when I go to the movies, surprisingly enough. I don't get
Skittles are good though.
They are good. Let's see. Rogue Agent says, I want to say this is my personal favorite film from Japan. Did you see Blood the Last Vampire? I have not seen Blood the Last Vampire.
No, neither have I.
I will have to look that up. He says it's an obscure horror anime film. That's great, but no one speaks about it. I will have to look that one up, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Somebody's saying this charming hood says Nerd Ropes. He loves Nerd Ropes.
Nerd Ropes are good, man.
They are good. They are good. I love Sweet Tart Ropes. Those are addicting to me. Like, I can eat those all the time.
I've never had one of those.
I will say this, like, because my friend Doug Lander, he was like, "What is a Sweet Tart Rope?" And I was like, "Try one." And now when we go to the movies, we always have to split a bag because he was like, "These are delicious." And I was like, "I know."
Where is that guy, anyways?
He's still around. Brian and Doug, they're making movies. So, yeah, they're making movies. They're filming the third Trashology film. So nice. Yeah, they're still around. He makes videos every once in a while. I try to get him to make more videos. So, you got a subscription from Ali. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to Garrett. Awesome. And Rogue Agent says he really likes the vampire film. So I will have to check that one out. I will have to look that up. All right. So now we're getting into movie memorabilia because we both collect posters, collectibles. What are some of your favorites that you own?
So especially some of the people that just subbed to me, would be cool to go back into my stuff and check it out. Like, again, I've only been doing this since October, but I have some cool stuff in there. Some past videos where I talk about like my Karate Kid collection, you know, being one of my favorite movies. I have a lot of cool stuff signed there. Something different. I just did a video talking all things Lost Boys where I go through some cool memorabilia I have and autographs I have from that movie. So if I had to think about my favorite piece that's autographed in my collection, it would probably my Lost Boys poster. And that is because it pretty much has the entire cast except for Diane Wiest and Jamie Gertz. So you're getting a lot of people on that poster that I had been lucky enough to meet that signed it that are no longer with us. So to me, that's going to be, you know, being like one of my favorite movies, if not my my absolute favorite movie. And to have all these people that are now deceased on the poster signed, like to me, that's definitely a grail piece for me in my collection when it comes to autographs.
Oh, and awesome poster. Jamie Gertz, somebody I would love to meet one day. My favorite's Witchboard. I would have to say that's one of my favorites. Just because
man, and you have that signed by her, correct?
I do. I don't know if you could see it. It's not the first signature, but it's right where her picture is.
Yep.
So
I see it. I see it. Yep.
Yep. I love that poster. So
that's awesome, man. That's such a good one.
And you know that, like, you know, it's always sad when you see people pass. Tawny Katane got me. Like, that one got me because I think when you meet them, it really gets you, and you have a great experience because she was a sweetheart.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet her once, but it was at a Chiller Theater. I don't remember which year it was, but yeah, always a big fan. We've talked about this before. We both really like Witchboard. Love that movie. You know, I remember her. I'm a big Whitesnake fan, so you know, I remember her from all the Whitesnake videos and her dating David and all that stuff. So, super sad, man, about her, and it's just unfortunate.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, that was you know, the crazy thing is, like, the day before her passing, like, she posted something on Instagram. So I think I saw her post that morning that she passed, and then like literally like 5 minutes later, somebody said she passed away, and I'm like, what? So
that is crazy. Sad. Yeah,
very sad. All right, so Ollie says Rawhead Rex is my guilty pleasure. What do you guys?
Movie, I like. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. If you have the Kino Blu-ray, they put out a great set. Bonkers movie, very cool.
What are some of your? I didn't write this down, but that's a good question. What are some of your favorite guilty pleasure movies, if you have some?
Oh yeah. Let's see. See, like top of my head, let me think. What do I like? I'm just looking over here on the side and see if anything jumps out at me. But Frankenhooker, I love Frankenhooker.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let me think, man. You know, I like a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to think of something that I like that not many people do, that I haven't really talked too much about yet. If you check out my rad recommendation videos, that's where I go through all these kind of weird movies that I'm into that more or less people either don't know or don't like. And I try to kind of bring someone on and win them over. We've talked about it before. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's a big one for me. That's a big guilty pleasure. So if you want to check Justin out on my channel, go check out Rad Recommendations. Just one of the it was Girls Just Want to Have Fun. We do a big review on that and why we like that movie and why we think people should check it out. So that's definitely a guilty pleasure for me.
I was jamming to the soundtrack when I was working out today. So I love that soundtrack.
I love it.
Guilty pleasure for me. Solar Babies with Jamie Gertz and Jason Patrick. I love Solar Babies. I'm trying to think some other guilty pleasures because I know there are films that I love that people are like, why do you love this? I'm trying to think, like,
I'm looking around my room too because that's like me too.
Teen Wolf 2. I'm a fan of Teen Wolf 2. I like Teen Wolf 2.
I like Teen Wolf 2. I liked it as a kid, and I kind of I still like it. Teen Wolf's another one. Like, I mean, I don't know if people like Teen Wolf anymore. I don't know if people think it doesn't hold up, but Teen Wolf is one of those movies that my brother and I watched so much as a kid that the tape broke and we had to get another one. Like, I mean, I could recite that movie front to back and I still love it and can watch it all the time. And I know for some people, they're like, oh, it doesn't hold up now, but I like it.
I watched it last year with my buddy Brian from Chicago, Petrosky. And that's a great movie. I'm a Teen Wolf 2 fan. Who's that girl with Madonna? Some people don't like that one, but I love it.
I've never seen it. No.
Really? I highly recommend that one. I wish it had a Blu-ray.
I gotta check it out.
Let's see. We got Antana says, do you guys have original posters or reprints? I have I'm 50-50. So I'm 50-50.
Same with me. I have both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say all these back. Well, okay, so Teen Wolf reprint, Child's Play 2. I think it's a reprint. Definitely Back to the Future 2 is a reprint, but that Monkey Shines is original, and it's signed by George Romero and Savini, which I guess you could say Monkey Shines could be a guilty pleasure because I know a lot of people like that movie sucks. But I was always a big fan of that one, and I got Romero to sign it. And it was funny because even when I went up to him and had him sign it, he was like, "Ooh, Monkey Shines!" Like it was kind of like not one he signs on a regular basis, I guess. But so he was kind of excited to sign that. But yeah, so I do 50-50. I'm very weird when it comes to it for multiple reasons. So obviously I want the one sheets, the originals I would love, but again, most of them that I want are different sizes. They're like 27 by 41 and, reprint posters and the new theatrical posters are 27 by 40. So you'd have to buy different frames and sizes. And I don't like that. So yeah, I have a couple 27 by 41 frames over there that are all together that are the originals. These, and the reason Monkey Shines is 27 by 40 with these reprints is because they switched them at a certain year. I can't remember exactly what year it was that they went from 27 by 41 to 27 by 40. So therefore it's like, that's where I get a little bit like, well, if I'm going to get it and I only have 27 by 41 and spend all this money, or I can match all my other ones. I just try to match them. And I'm always a little bit skeptical about getting originals signed. And that's another one too, is that my uncle's a big originals one sheet collector. And he's always like, don't mess them up. Don't sign them. It's going to devalue them. And in my head, I would think it would increase the value. But to a collector like him, he says it decreases the value. So again, I'm hesitant on certain things like Monkey Shine, whatever. I'll sign it. No big deal. But if you have a Jaws poster original that's worth thousands of dollars, part of you is kind of like, would you want someone to write on it or not? It's weird. So I'm kind of 50-50 with the one sheet collecting and the and the reprints.
The Witchboard one, that is actually a video rental promo poster from a video store.
Nice.
So yeah, I got that one signed, but I wanted a theatrical poster, and I looked on eBay. I had one for $35 mint condition. So I have that. The only other signed one sheet I have is Deadly Blessing, Wes Craven's Deadly Blessing. Michael Berryman signed it. So, but yeah. Antana says, I want an original Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster, but it's over $500. I want an original too, but maybe one day I'll come across one for a good price. That would be amazing.
Yeah, those are pricey, and there's a little bit of there's like a story behind the original Texas Chainsaw where two companies, like one company put it out and then they lost the rights, and then another company put it out. So if you get, I think it's Brian Stone Pictures might have been the original one, I believe. So like one of them is more valuable than the other kind of thing. So you just dig deep. They're out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bought a Friday the 13th. I don't know how valuable it is, but Friday the 13th Part 3 theatrical poster for like $45 at a convention. Supergirl, there's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I just bought the one sheet of that one. So bought the one sheet of Supergirl. Brian Goes Blue says, hey, Justin, Coco wants to know where you got the Exorcist t-shirt. It's her favorite horror film. I bought it from Walmart, $8. I was like, I will take it. So
recently or no?
Maybe about a month ago.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. They sold out quick though, because the very next time I went back, which was like 2 days later, they were gone. So
wow.
They get some good stuff. Like you can find some good stuff at some of those stores like Walmart. Find some good horror movie t-shirts. This charming Love Hood says, I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure, but one obscure 80s gem I love is Legend of Billie Jean. I love it. Fair is fair.
Justin was talking about that earlier. Yeah. Yep. It's a great movie.
That is a one sheet poster I would love to have. Antana says, in my opinion, reprint posters are not very good quality. It depends on where you get them. Because
exactly. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I've got some that are amazing, and then I bought a Night of the Demons poster reprint. It's signed, which I love, but the print was not very good. It was not very
Yeah,
good.
they're like some can come blurry and then some can come really nice. I would say it's funny. I wish it wouldn't do it justice, but like when I first started collecting posters, this was probably when I moved into my first house. I was building up my man cave. I bought a bunch of posters to kind of decorate it with. And this Lost Boys one that I have that signed is not an original one sheet. But every time I pull that thing out, people are like, wow, this is insane. It's so the colors are so bright. Like that red is so bright. It's unreal, the quality of this thing. It almost looks like it's hard to explain. I've never seen anything like it before. But I think the company that does a real good job is if you look for a company called like Pop Culture Graphics, I think the name of them is.
I think I bought
That's where I was buying a lot of my posters from when I was really getting them to fill up some of these spots. Like I don't really buy posters too much anymore unless, you know, all of a sudden I think of something. I'm like, oh, I'd love to have that poster because I just have so many. Like I have stacks and I'll just sometimes rotate them around. But check out Pop Culture Graphics. I think that's a company that does a real good job.
Yeah, you can find some great reprints. So you just kind of have, like you said, pop culture. I bought some from them and I really like their stuff. Ali says Candyman versus Myers in The Office. Who wins? They are a couple of months apart from each other. I'm gonna say Myers would win over Candyman. What do you think? Candyman's good though. Like Candyman.
Myers.
I'm gonna say Myers, but Candyman's great. And then we got another familiar face here. Christian Hannah Horror. What's up, guys? What's going on, Christian?
What's up, man? Welcome. Thanks for coming to say what's up, dude.
What's going on? All right, so Ben Graham says, what's a newer poster that you love? What's one for you? What's the recent poster that you picked up that you can think of?
Well, I am on the hunt for the new Halloween Kills poster. I will tell you that. And I think the problem is now is because of everything going on with theaters and, you know, some are open, some are not. Like, for instance, the original Halloween 2018, like I was able to get the teaser poster, the theatrical poster, like easily, where now I can't find the Halloween Kills poster at all. And if I do, it's like, you know, some smaller size or it's on some kind of like weird silk screen flag or something. And I'm like, I'm looking for like a double-sided theatrical poster, 27 by 40 that you would put up in a movie theater. And I can't find them. So unless they're not out there yet, like I haven't been to a movie theater, so I don't know if there's a poster displayed at these theaters yet, but for some reason I can't find any. And that's definitely one I'm after for sure. I thought the posters for Us were pretty good. There was one with the gold scissors that I have that I think is a cool one. There's the one with like the woman like saying on it or something like that, which I thought was cool too.
What was the modern one that I got? I got the 2018 Halloween poster, the teaser poster, and it's amazing. I'm trying to think of. There hasn't been a lot of modern ones that I've got. I picked up it's an original Bride of Chucky, brand new poster, still rolled up and never had been opened. So I picked that one up not too long ago. Let's see. We got Christian Horror. He says, I'm a poster fanatic myself, mostly prints. I've got the original Evil Dead. What? That's amazing. Mausoleum and Dead. He's got all those coming. That's amazing. Night of the Living Dead 1990. Another great one.
Yeah, you know what I'll say about Christian's posters is those video posters he has for Elm Street are pretty damn killer. Like I have never really seen those. I never was really looking for them, but those are badass, man. And those are way better. Like I have the original, I don't have the original one sheet, but I'm also a art print collector in the sense, I don't know if anybody else is in there. If you check out a documentary called 24 by 36, and it's basically about all these artists that do like alternative movie posters. I'm sure you've probably seen them around, but they basically take movie posters and they create their own movie posters and they go for big money. So I've got kind of hooked into that realm a little bit. So, you know, I'll pay for commissions on a certain movie and get like a 1 out of 20 posters for a certain movie. And they did these artists that did the original Elm Street are drawing them out again and releasing them. So I have a lot of those of like the first 5 films. It's all the original artwork, but it's 27 by 36 and it's hand drawn. So it's not, you know, on poster paper, it's on more like thick art paper. And they're really cool, but I had never seen those video posters that you have with Freddy on them. And those things are killer, man. Killer.
He's got amazing posters. Like Christian's posters are awesome. Originally, he just found a reprint of The Howling, and it's fantastic. I love that movie. Let's see. He's got a. I think he said, "I've got to go. Hang tight. I'll get you He said, "I'll get you that Kills poster." So
all right, make sure it's double-sided. Double-sided is key.
Christian, thanks for coming in, buddy. Thank you for coming in. I love Christian. He's such an awesome guy. Brian Goes Blue says, well, dude,
I was just going to bring that up. You read my mind, dude.
Yes. Turbo Man. I was like, you go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah. When you started talking about the Exorcist shirt, I was going to bring that up about that damn Turbo Man doll. You heard about that?
I saw somebody post it and I'm like, what is that? I was like, I want that. Like, I need that in my life.
I've been to Walmart 6 times in the last 3 days and have not found one yet around my area. So I don't know if they're getting scooped quick or me being really far on the East Coast, if West Coast is getting them first and it's slowly trickling towards us. Cause it seems like that's usually how things go, is we always get things like a week or 2 later than like West Coast. Yeah. So I'm praying that, that we're just like a week behind, because they're nowhere to be found anywhere near me. And I definitely need one of those.
I looked it up online and I could not find them online. So I'm going to go hopefully find one, because I will totally own a Turbo Man doll in my collection.
Heck yeah.
Ollie says, the Mutilator is my favorite poster. Awesome. I love the Mutilator. Charming Lovehood said, I have a Never Sleep Again documentary poster autographed by Heather. That's awesome. That is so cool.
That is cool.
Very cool. Let's see. Let's go through these. Ollie says, love seeing the old Frankenstein posters on eBay. Sweet. Christian says, for the Halloween Kills poster, yeah, it's a theatrical release poster, so it's double-sided for Halloween Kills. So very cool.
Thanks, dude.
Let's see. Antana says, my posters keep falling off the walls. I don't want frames. I tape them. What should I do?
Buy frames.
Buy frames. I mean, you can get them for a good price. I either get them at Walmart or you can go online, and I think I bought 3 of the 27 by 40s for $60. So maybe a little bit cheaper than if I would get them at the store.
I would recommend, gang, like, and I don't want to be like a dick or anything like that, but it is one of those things when I see people that have their posters like taped or tacked in the wall, it bothers me. Like I'm like, no, why would you do that? You know, when you can get frames so easily. I mean, again, these right here, these frames, like these ones, I don't know, Walmart, $20 a piece probably. And they do the trick, and you just put a little nail or tack in, hang them, and they're golding, and it keeps them in good condition. So, you know, it just makes it look clean, in my opinion. I'm just basically more about like aesthetics and stuff like that. So I would say if you're going to tape them on the wall, like if there's not a reason that you want to put a nail in the wall or anything like that, I would say definitely frame them. Definitely.
Yeah. Same here. I don't think I was going to go put up a Hellraiser poster. It's a reprint, but I got it signed by Doug Bradley, Ashley Lawrence, and one of the Cenobites. And I looked at the poster. I said, did I pin this poster at one point? Because it had pins. And I'm like, no. All right. Let's see. Ollie says, what are your memories of USA Up All Night and Monster Vision? I was actually this was going to be a question I was going to ask. Were you more of a USA Up All Night person or Monster Vision?
You want me to give you an honest answer right now? I have never seen Monster Vision in my life. Never. Really? Not even now. Nothing. Nope. I don't know why. So I would say USA Up All Night, because that's what I saw. For some reason, I'd never seen Monster Vision. I don't know if it was in, I don't even know what channel it would have been on when I was a kid. I have no idea. I don't have Shudder now, so I don't see it.
I don't either. I don't have Shudder, so I think I have Shudder, but I haven't been on in a while. I don't know. Joe Bob's is on Shudder, right? Like he's on there. Like,
yeah. Yep. And everybody talks about it and says great things. It's just that I don't have Shudder. I like subscribe to so much stuff, and I'm never home to watch any of it. So I'm like, I can't justify, subscribing to something else because I'll never watch it.
Yep. Same. I have a lot of subscriptions and I do not watch most of them. I've not seen USA Up All Night, so I'm going to say Monster Vision. And the only real memory I have with it was we were going through the channels and Deadly Friend was on, which I love Deadly Friend. That's a great Wes Craven movie. And we only saw the ending of it. So I don't want to give too much away, but you've seen Deadly Friend. Do you remember the ending of Deadly Friend? They're in the morgue and
BB.
Kristen Watson yeah. So I don't want to give too much away. I do love it. That might be a guilty pleasure.
Hey, I love Deadly Friend as well. I love Deadly Friend.
No. I just remember the ending of Deadly Friend, and I had not seen the rest of the movie. So years later, I bought the DVD, and I'm like, that's the movie I saw in Monster Vision. Mm-hmm. And then Triple Feature says, what's your guys' thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 5? Personally, I love it. I think it's a masterpiece. I think Triple Feature
masterpiece. Man, I would say it's pushing it, but I like it. I like Part 5. I have no issues with it. I know that's the one that people can kind of shit on the most, but again, I said it before. I kind of like all the Friday the 13th, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if it's a masterpiece, but I still really like it. Triple Feature, I could be wrong. Is that one that like you're joking it's a masterpiece, or do you love it? I know we talked about it, but my memory just like goes out the door sometimes. So I'm going to get to your guys' questions in just a moment. I actually have like quick questions I want to ask you. So I picked two things. You pick your favorite. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right. License to Drive or Dream a Little Dream? Which one there?
License to Drive.
Okay, good. All right, this might be a challenge for you. It might not be. Cry Little Sister or I Still Believe?
I Still Believe.
Oh, sweet. Teen Wolf or Teen Witch?
Teen Wolf.
All right. The Karate Kid or The Karate Kid Part 2? Which one? Which one did you say?
Wait. You said, what'd you say? The Karate Kid or The Karate Kid?
The Karate Kid or The Karate Kid Part 2?
Oh, Karate Kid original.
Ah, love it. Okay, the last one. Top That from Teen Witch or but oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher Vanilla Ice. Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Oh, Go Ninja Rap. Ninja Rap. Yeah.
There you go. So, okay. And then the last one, Skittles or Starburst?
Oh, Skittles.
Awesome. Oh, you're looking at these comments. Let's see. Skittles was a great answer, by the way. Art says, what's your favorite film with a downer ending?
Again, downer ending.
Favorite film with a downer ending.
I'm trying to think of films with downer endings, and then I can go from there.
And Triple Feature might be joking. He might be joking. So I think he's joking. I think Triple Feature's joking. I think that was one he didn't really care for too much. Jason Takes Manhattan, I'll just say this. That's one that I love, and I remember talking about that one. Downer ending for me. I got to think of it.
Yeah, let me think.
I don't know. Like The Mist.
Give me some examples.
The Mist. I love The Mist.
That's a good answer, man. Very
love
good
The
answer.
Mist. Downer ending. Let's see what we got here. Triple Feature mentioned The Mist. Yes, The Mist. We got some Mist in here. Brian Goes Blue. Yes, The Mist. Downer ending. I love that movie, but I do not like the ending. Nathan Jones says, hello there. What's going on, Nathan? Thank you for stopping in. And once again, if you have not subscribed to Garrett, definitely do so. Somebody said Halloween 3.
Okay. I mean, sure. If we go to say that, I would say that that's probably my favorite then.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of has a downer ending. I'm gonna still go The Mist. I think every time I watch that movie, I know it's gonna happen, but that one gets me. Another Halloween 3. So I'm gonna just say The Mist because I'm like, okay, that would be one where I would say, yeah, I do love
Very
it,
good.
but the ending gets me. The ending gets me. If you guys have any other questions, please leave some questions down below. Real quick, I'll talk to you about this. So they just announced, I don't know if you saw this, but some upcoming 4Ks or rumored 4K announcements. So did you hear about like Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 getting possibly some 4K releases?
I think 1 through 4, right? 1 through 4 got announced.
Yeah, 1 through 4. 1 through 4. What do you think of that? Are you gonna pick them up?
Well, 2 and 3, I'm gonna pick up, no question. It's just one of those things that's funny just because I'm happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy, but it's just, to me, it's just funny because it's like, how many times can Scream Factory release these damn things? I have Halloween 2 and 3 already 3 times in my collection from Scream Factory. I have the original 2 that they put out. I have the 2 in the box set, and I have the 2 damn steel books. So now I'm going to get them again. I'm going to have 4 Halloween 2 and 3 from Scream Factory. Like, it's all well and good, but I know it's just funny to me. It's like, stop recycling these. Like, why did we need the steel books? We didn't need those at that point. Like, it to me, it's just one of those things. It's just like, are they milking it? And then, or is it going to be something, you know, an ultimate edition 4K and that we're going to have to rebuy? It's just annoying to me. But again, I'm happy. I definitely want it. The Halloween original, I'll probably buy that one too. But what sucks is I already have Halloween on 4K. And you know, now I'm going to go back and buy it again. Like, I have Halloween on 4K twice. I have the Anchor Bay one. I have the Steelbook one. Like, now I'm going to have a third one already. That's the kind of thing. And part 4,
I love part 4. I think that's
again, part 4 and 5 for me, like, actually part 4, 5, and 6 were never my favorites. And it's one that I think I have to go back and rewatch again, just because I don't know if I'm missing something with it. I like the atmosphere of 4 and 5. I just think I don't remember them as much as I remember the first 3. But I'm gonna have to go back and check. But if you're a big fan of that, there's a dude online. I don't know if you ever heard me talking about it. That's like putting out these editions where he combines it all.
Love it.
So I actually have it right over here. I have 4, 5, and 6 built into one giant movie. So I'm thinking I'm gonna watch that and just rewatch all those just to see, you know, get another opinion on it. If it holds up to me now, I haven't watched those in a long time. So it might be a cool way for you guys to check it out. I don't remember what his name is now, but I could find it. But he's doing these editions where he has 1 and 2 made into one movie, and now I just grabbed 4, 5, and 6 built into one movie. So it seems kind of cool.
I have that, and I would say that's the way to watch it. I love them. I love those movies, but it's fantastic watching it as one big movie. And then he just did Evil Dead trilogy, which was fantastic.
I just got that one in the mail too. Yep.
Fantastic. Let's see. We got some questions real quick. Brian Goes Blue. Alone in the Dark from Scream Factory. Yes, it's finally coming out. Buying it. I'm getting that one. I am so excited for that. And I love that movie. That very underrated movie.
Super
Near
cool
Dark.
movie.
Near Dark is getting a 4K release. I love it too. I have the Blu-ray that I got for $7 when it came out.
Yeah, me too. I have that as well, and it seems like we're one of the very few that grabbed that. And I don't know if it was people were like, "Oh, screw that cover. I'm gonna wait till a better edition comes out." Well, guess what? There was no edition for a long time. So
I know, and the DVDs go up in price too. So I'm looking forward to picking up the 4K.
For sure.
We got some questions coming in. Art says Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side. I'm going to say Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, because I don't remember Tales from the Dark Side too much.
Dark Side was good, but it was a little bit either before I was more of a Crypt guy because I watched that one all the time. I didn't see Dark Side until I bought the box set when I was like an adult. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Same here. Antana says, what horror celebs have you met, Garrett? So what are some celebrities have you met?
Man, I've met a lot. And I say this all the time, and you probably feel the same way, is as much as I hate getting older,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we really made out when we were into this stuff, because
Yeah.
if I was trying to meet celebrities and get things signed and I started now, like
Yeah.
I would be so broke. It would be unreal. Like I met Robert England for $40.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and we got a bunch of stuff signed by him, free picture with it. Me and my wife and him in a picture, $40. I think we each paid 40. He signed something for each of us and we took a picture with him for free. Like you meet Robert England now, you're paying 120, no picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I met Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Kiefer
That's so
Sutherland,
awesome.
Jason Patrick, Kane Hodder, Nick Castle, Tony Moran, who's been in the news lately. I did meet him at one point.
That
Dick
one event.
Warlock, Gunnar Hansen, Marilyn Burns. Like I
Oh
said,
no.
a bunch of the Lost Boys. I met the whole cast of Fright Night. I have the poster signed by probably like 7 cast members of them. Herbert West from Reanimator or whatever. What's his name there?
I'm blanking on his name. I
I
know
met
you're
Barbara
talking
Crampton.
about.
Barbara
Yeah.
Crampton signed my From Beyond poster. I mean, I was very fortunate that we got into this then when you were paying like $20 to $40 to meet these people, because you could go to a convention and spend $200 and meet like 8 people. And
Yeah.
nowadays, $200 would get you probably 2 autographs and meet and greets and all that stuff. So, yeah, I met a lot. I met, again, it's not horror, but we talked about George Romero, Tom Savini on this. This Back to the Future 2 poster, I met Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, which are both autographed on that, which Michael J. Fox to me was like something that it was, what would you call it? I guess something that I never thought would ever happen. If someone said to me when I was a kid, like, who would you want to meet the most? To me, it would be like Shawn Michaels and Michael J. Fox. And luckily enough, now I
Yeah.
was able to meet both, and Corey Haim, right? So between all 3 of those, I kind of would have been as a child, that's what I wanted. And, I was lucky enough to meet all them as well. So, and sadly, people are passing away. So, that's tough too. And a lot more people I had met in the past, but I don't know. I guess people, if they're specific on someone that they want to know about, I can tell you my story if I've met them. But
I'll tell you one that I've met. He passed away literally like 4 months after I met him. Angus Grimm.
dude, so
Man.
good. So I met him one time and I got a 8x10 signed. And did you go to, no, you couldn't have, because I gave Wes from Dead Pit a Phantasm poster because he went to some convention where they had like a reunion and he actually didn't make it because he was sick.
Yeah.
So I have this whole poster with him in the center signed by the whole cast except for him. And he passed away like very shortly after. And it's kind of a weird thing that I have. It's almost like this poster is like a memorial because it's just a picture of him and the whole poster signed by everybody but him. So, but I did get to meet Angus once, but yeah, and then he passed shortly after. But that's an awesome piece, man. That's one of my favorite movies as well.
I love that movie. Let's go. We got some questions. Art says remake or reboot. Now, are you talking TV show that we mentioned, like Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Dark Side, or just remake or reboot in general? I would say I like remakes and reboots, if that's the question. I'm not sure. But yeah, Art, were you talking Tales from the Crypt and Dark Side? Let me know. Nathan Jones has this question. Favorite horror film from Arrow, Scream Factory, and Criterion? I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's tough. I would say horror film. So like if you would have said release, I would have said probably like the Friday 13 box would have been my favorite release, but individual film. I would maybe say Halloween 3, maybe. I'm trying to kind of rack my brain around all the Scream Factory releases. Justin, you got anything?
Um, I would say I'm gonna go Halloween 3 for Scream Factory. Halloween 2 and 3, I'm gonna go for Scream Factory because it was the first time we really got bonus features for those movies. And like Halloween 3, back when I first saw it, no one liked it. I really did not hear anybody talk about it. And I had it on a recorded VHS tape. So I'm going to say Halloween 2 and 3 for Scream Factory. What about you? What do you think?
I would say Halloween 3 for Scream Factory is mine. I'm looking at my Arrow collection right here. Some big releases that I was really excited about were, again, for me, The Burbs, having that was good. Last House on the Left, they made a huge box set. The original Hills Have Eyes has a nice box set. The Reanimator has a nice set. I would say those are probably going to be my favorite. I'm just looking to make sure I don't miss any, but I would say something probably like that. Maybe Reanimator, I would guess I'd say.
Reanimator. Okay. I'm going to say, now it's 3 films, but I really love this set. The Hellraiser Scarlet box set. I really
I passed on that and I regret it.
Love it. Love it. And then Criterion, I'm going to go with, what is the movie? Carnival of Souls. I love that movie. Love that movie.
I'm looking right here. I would say Scanners is a good one. I'm trying to think if I'm not missing anything. Scanners was a good one that they put out. Rosemary's Baby was a great one that they did.
So good. Yes. Night of the Living Dead was a great one. All right, guys.
That too, yeah.
Let's go through these.
I like the lively chat in here.
I know. I do too. Nathan Jones says Halloween 3 is an excellent choice for Scream Factory. Thank you, Nathan. Yes, Halloween 3. When I heard that they were releasing that, I was like, yes. Like, it's getting love. I love Halloween 3. I'm glad people love the movie now and appreciate it. So, absolutely love it. Art says remake or reboot. That question. I'm gonna just say remake and reboot. If they're great movies, I'm a fan. So
yeah, I agree. And again, sometimes you're not sure if is something a remake or a reboot. Like unless they specifically say it. Like I don't know. Like for instance, is it a reboot if it's done and then they never go anywhere else? Like for instance, one of my favorite remakes or reboots is the Evil Dead one, and it's just dead. Like, what is it? Was it a reboot? If it was, what did they reboot? A new franchise? Because it's done. And it was always one that I wanted more. Like I wanted more from that universe. I wanted that girl to move on and see a second movie with the same cast and with that girl in it. But it doesn't seem like we're getting that. It seems like we're going back to the well and we're going to do another Evil Dead with Ash and which is fine. But I was so happy with the Evil Dead remake that I was like, I want to see this universe. I want to see more of this reboot. So to me, it almost seems like was it just a remake and now they're moving on? Because, I don't know.
I think it was a reboot because it's in the same timeline, but I would love to see where that story would go. I'm kind of curious where that new Evil Dead's gonna go. So,
and she's not part of that right anymore. Like that is done for her. Like,
yeah, they're continuing on with different characters.
It did well. I don't understand why it didn't move forward with like a sequel or anything like that. Like that's what bothers me the most with a lot of this stuff is that they just do something and then it's done. Like, I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. For instance, I thought Derek Mears was a great Jason, and I would have loved to see more of that Jason. I would have loved to see more story with him as Jason and move forward. But now it's like he's like one and done. So, like, to me, the Friday 13th remake is like a big waste of time. Like, it doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know. I don't even know where it fits in anymore. Like, it doesn't make any sense now to me. And that's the kind of stuff that bothers me is it's like, don't spend all this time to reboot a franchise if you're just going to kill it after one movie. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I'm with you. I personally love the Friday the 13th remake and I love Derek Mears. as Jason, and I wanted to see more of that. And right now they're in this legal battle, so I don't even know if we're going to get one. So another Friday
And if
the
we
13th.
do, I guarantee Derek Mears is probably not going to be Jason. They're going to probably I wouldn't put it past them going back to Kane Hodder before they go to Derek Mears again, and
Yeah,
which is fine. But I thought Derek Mears is, and if anybody has not met him, is probably one of the nicest guys in this whole horror community. He is so genuinely nice. Such a down to earth dude. He's got such a unique look, but he has had such shit luck. Imagine signing on to be Jason. You think that your career at that point is golden for a while. Because I'm sure he probably signed on for multiple movies as Jason. And I had met him right before this was released, and he was ecstatic. Man, this is so great. There's going to be multiple. There's this, that, and it's dead in the water. Then a couple of years go by, he signs on to be Swamp Thing. I mean, he must have been oh shit, I'm being revitalized again. I'm Swamp Thing. I'm golden. I'm going to have this new series. I'm good. Series was dead after a couple of episodes. This poor guy has such these big iconic roles that just get, his legs chopped up from underneath him. And I feel bad. It sucks, for him.
Yeah, I know. And I haven't seen Swamp Thing yet, but I've heard it's really good. So I need to watch it. But
I never seen it either, but I just felt really bad when he was Swamp Thing and now it's gone,
No, I agree. Let's
Jamie
see.
Hart, what's up?
Hey, Jamie, what's going on? Guys, Justin is technology's not savvy, so I'm going to go through these as quick as I possibly can, guys. I'm so sorry. Hello, Jamie. It's great seeing you. Thank you for stopping in. Antana says, have you guys been to any horror movie panels? Oh, yeah, I love the horror movie panels when we go to conventions. Absolutely love them. Halloween 30 Years of Terror, that was some of my favorite horror movie panels. So, let's see. Does Scream have a Scream Factory box set yet? Not yet. Not yet. I love those movies. I know the first one's getting a 4K. I would love for them to release an entire set. That would be really neat. And Antanas, ask many questions. We don't mind. Thank you for the questions. Thank you. Go through these pretty quick. Criterion, the Criterion Fast Times at Ridgemont High is beautiful. Garrett loves it. I have yet to pick that one up, so I need to get that.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I think having both editions is great. As far as how it compares to the other Blu-ray, I don't know. I don't own the first one that they did, but again, like I said earlier, is if you're a fan of the movie, this is the one to get, just because you do get that theatrical cut, which has been so sought after for so long and it's never seen physical media until now. So definitely pick that one up.
So let's go through these. Nathan Jones says, Night of the Living Dead for Criterion. Yes, I love Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Hunter, I'm sorry, for Criterion. I've never heard of that one. I'm going to have to look that up. And then he says Arrow for The Thing. He's the UK set, which I hear is amazing. So
yeah, you know what? I bought that, and then Scream Factory announced it. And at the time, I was such a Scream Factory nut. There was a point in time, and if anybody wants to check out a video that Wes and I did, we're going to be talking about Scream Factory year by year. But I was so crazy at that point. I needed every single Scream Factory release. And that was my goal at the time. And I bought the Thing on Arrow, and then they announced the Thing on Scream. So then I sold the Thing Arrow before I even opened it. Because I think it went out of print really quick. Some kind of special edition. But so I never get to check out the Arrow one. But if you say it's better than Scream, it probably is. But 4K Thing is coming. 4K Thing announced.
And I'm buying that, and that's actually something I pulled real quick because I just got this steelbook of the Thing not too long, a couple years ago. So I love this. Very neat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the 4K of that one. I will pick that up. Let's see. Brian Goes Blue says, Justin, did you get the Tom Atkins NECA figure with Night of the Creeps? I did not. I missed out on getting the figure for the Night of the Creeps. Did you get that one, Garrett?
Yep.
You got that one?
Great figure. I have I like the NECA stuff. So sadly, Scream Factory always reels me in when they announce an exclusive NECA figure with their things. So even if it's something I already own, I'll buy it just to get the figure, and then I'll probably sell off the physical copy of something I already have. But yeah, I like the obscure horror genre people that they're putting out, you know?
Yeah. I was late to the game, but I got Harry Warden, My Bloody Valentine. And I got, and this is when they had the sale, the Killer from Slumber Party Massacre.
I know, that's so funny. Like, who would have ever thought, right? Like,
I know.
In what world we'd be like, oh, maybe they're gonna make an action figure of this guy someday.
I know. I love it. Let's see. Charming Lovehound says, Justin, you're the only person I know who appreciates Poltergeist 3 and loves New Nightmare. I love both of them. So I love both films. Yeah. What about you?
I actually think that both of them get more love than you would think. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were ranting and raving how great Poltergeist 3 was. And it's funny but at the same time, you don't usually hear it get talked about often. But I think the people that do talk about it really love it.
Yeah, that's I think I'm hearing more people appreciate and love the movie now. But when I first started watching it, people were like, you like Poltergeist 3? I'm like, I love Poltergeist 3. And I have a one sheet of that one, like mint condition. I was like, I found it at a convention and bought it. But I love Poltergeist 3 and New Nightmare. That is my favorite of the Elm Street franchise. I love New Nightmare. So
favorite? Oh boy.
Favorite. It beats the original.
Where's Christian? Is Christian in here still?
I know. Call me crazy, but I'm also, and I love Dream Warriors, but I'm going to say Dream Masters slightly better for me. I'm more of a Dream Masters. And anything. That soundtrack, whole thing.
I'm Dream Warriors, but my wife is Dream Master. Wait, is Dream Master 4?
Yes.
Yeah, my wife's Dream Master. That's got the Tuesday Night song at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, she likes that one.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Dream Master again. Jamming to that soundtrack when I work out. Anything. Let's see. We got some other stuff here. Let's see. Trying to see. I'm such a noob. Let's see. Brian Goes Blue says, it's okay, Justin. I missed out on the My Bloody Valentine NECA. Yeah, that sold quick. I remember that one selling pretty quick. And then Jamie says, I love New Nightmare too. Awesome, Jamie. That's so awesome. Let's see. And then Charming Lovehound says, Dawkin and Tuesday Night. See, I love Dawkin and I love Dream Warriors. But yeah, Dream Master slightly for me. Like, again, anything, that Tuesday Night song, I jammed to that whole soundtrack. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up in just a couple minutes. The last question I have, and, Garrett, at the end of every live chat, this is a question I'm going to ask is, positivity in with the positive, out with the negative. That's like the end of my videos that I normally say. So what is your happiness and the positives in your life? My channel's about positivity, and I hope I kind of bring that with the video. So I guess my question is,
dude, I'm lucky enough to do what I do for a living, which is basically making other people better. So I help people, accomplish things that they never thought they could when it comes to their own physical self. So, incorporating fitness routines into their life, creating better lifestyles, creating better versions of themselves. So I'm lucky enough to be around that kind of stuff all day long. So for me, I love it because, I have to be motivating because I meet with a lot of people who, are kind of down on themselves when it comes to certain things. And it comes to me to, get them to believe in themselves for one. So, that's huge. And I think that, having a 2-year-old son has really, it's more than I ever thought. I could love something, I guess. I was really hesitant about having kids, to be honest with you. And it's unreal. I love that guy more than anything. So I'm just really around a lot of positive things. So, and it makes me positive, and it makes me positive to stay positive because I want others around me to be as well. So I think what we are doing right now, and I talked about this with you when we had you on my channel, is I know I'm kind of new to the scene, but I've been friendly with a lot of you guys for years just through social media, and I never met you guys face to face. I didn't have a YouTube channel, but I would follow and watch you guys, like you, Piz Owl, the Dead Pit guys, and we would always chat and stuff. And to be able to do these live streams and create like this positive community and not click, but like basically, all these people from the same love of like physical media and stuff coming together and like sharing success and having each other's backs and jumping on these little streams and talking shop and just being a big community, I think is what this community needs, because you see it, and sometimes people are more worried about their success and themselves and what they can do. And when people work together as one, it's so much stronger. And I think this is huge, and that's why I was so happy that you asked me to do this, because I want to be the glue if I need to like pull everybody together and create this whole like big I don't know what you'd call it, faction, I guess you would say, which I think we're doing a good job of it, because when people talk about horror movies, this, that, and this, they always think the negative, right, and not the positive of friendships and camaraderie and what this kind of stuff can bring for people. And dude, you're doing a great job with it. And so having the slogan of out with the negative and with the positive, it's me, man. I'm exactly the same way. If you come talk to me, it doesn't matter if I don't know you or not. Like, dude, I'm always going to be nice to you. Throw me a comment, guys. Come comment on my stuff. Message me, Facebook friend me. I don't care. Whatever you need from me, message me, and I'll respond back.
Well, Garrett, I think you're awesome. So I've always thought you were awesome talking with you, and I'm happy you're making videos now, and your channel's just fantastic. So and you're right.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. The community is amazing. Like, we have such an amazing community of people, and you really build friendships and you bond with people. And I am so grateful to know you, and I'm grateful to know a lot of you guys in the chat, and I've really built a lot of friendships. So I'm very blessed. I'm very, very blessed for you guys. So very blessed.
And what's funny is it is sad because I'm around so much positivity and motivation and inspiration like that. I'm around that like hours and hours a day, like for my job and all that stuff. And you start to sit in this bubble that you feel that everybody's as positive and as friendly as you are. And, sometimes you do, like case in point, you were right there with me is, you're in a Facebook group, and all of a sudden you're posting something, and then you have 10 people for no reason jump on you and start going into negative stuff for no reason at all, just to be a certain way. And it's just interesting because you would never think that, like, I never see that stuff. Like, that to me is like it's very foreign. And I don't know with you and your background, if you see that stuff more often, but like, it was almost shocking to me, and I let it kind of roll off. I don't let things bother me or whatever. Ego for me has been gone a long time ago, but it's just interesting to see. It's like, dude, why does something bother somebody so much that has nothing to do with anything? Well, like, I don't know. It's just interesting because I never really see that stuff. And all of a sudden now when you look in some of these groups, it's like, even somebody will post, hey, I have this record for sale on the Waxwork page, and, I want $60 for it. And people like, how dare you charge $60 in rent? It's like, dude, like, who cares? Like, then don't buy it. Like, what does it matter? But then, and then one person jumps on it, then the next person jumps on it. It's just kind of like, does nobody have anything else to do? Or does nobody have jobs or something? Like, I don't have time to do this kind of stuff. So again, going back to the whole idea is like becoming a unit in a community of positivity and, helping others succeed and all this other stuff. It's just, I think it is something that is needed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I remember that Facebook group, and you posted a video, and people just, some of those Facebook groups are just harsh. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, that's why I reached out to you, because I was like, come on, guys, let's not let's not be negative. Let's, there's
Mhm.
negativity in the world. We don't need to be that. We need to share the things that we love and spread love. But the real quick thing that I could think of, um, 2011, 2012 was like the hardest year for me on YouTube because I can remember I've never been picked on for movies that I like or pickups that I've gone, but I was like being attacked for at the time people just assuming I was gay. And like from 2011 to 2012, it was hard for me on YouTube. And at one point I quit, but I think you and so many people that I've talked to throughout the years um, have really made the community special. And so even when I came out, like just support all the way. And yeah, I'm just really thankful for you guys. Sorry if I ramble, Garrett, but yeah, just
No,
thankful
no,
for
this
you.
is, I mean, again, this is everybody has their own story, man. And again, like I said, it's hard to say because I've never been on that end of the like for you, like I've never been on that side of it to like I've never been attacked really. Like the most I've ever been attacked by anybody was I posted a video on that page and people were like talking shit about nothing. I mean, that's the most I've ever had to deal with. And it wasn't even anything. I just didn't respond to anybody, but so the fact that you've dealt with stuff like that, like it's interesting to hear because again, I've never had that,
Yeah. Well, I'll go through these real quick. Jamie says, spread love. Exactly. We need to spread love. She says the community is awesome. I agree. I love the community. And like you, we've built a lot of friendships. So we got a lot of great friends in this community. Jamie says, everyone's a critic. The haters need something better to do with their time. And then Brian Goes Blue says, Born2BeRad. Let's see, I did see you do a room tour. So did we. After this stream, we're definitely going to check it out. So awesome.
All right,
awesome.
cool. Thank you for checking it out, but make sure just listen to it. So it's not this room, but yeah, it does show a couple things that I still have, but just check it out. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then to wrap this up, Jamie says, I've been attacked, but I had friends who backed me up. This community had my back when I needed it. It's an amazing community. We got an amazing community with a lot of awesome people in it. And Jamie, I love you, and I'm glad I got to meet you. And Garrett, you're awesome. I'm glad I got to meet you, buddy. I call you a friend. I think you're fantastic. So keep doing what you're doing, bud. But everybody tonight, this has been so much fun, guys. Thank you guys so much for communicating, talking with us. Hopefully I did not miss any questions. If I did, I apologize. But I want to say, Garrett, thank you so much for coming on my show. Like, this is my second one, and I was the person I thought about. I was like, I really want Garrett on here. So thank you.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Like I said, you've been doing this a long time, and you're one of the people I was watching when I first started watching YouTube. I jumped on YouTube because I was a big movie collector and I wanted to find other people that were movie collectors as well. And maybe they had recommendations for things that I wanted to see. And you were definitely one of those people that I was watching early. So the fact that you've been doing this for so long and you have this new little stream show, and I'm brand new to this whole game, and you're like, hey, do you want to be on? Like, dude, thanks, man. Like that's big for me. That's huge. And I definitely appreciate it and keep doing it. And I think we're killing it. And again, thank you guys for everybody who came in here and checked it out. I mean, the chat was lively all night, and thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Jamie says, thanks. You guys rock. Jamie, you rock. So thank you for coming in.
Dude, it's been 2 hours. I feel like it's been like 20 minutes.
I know. It's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. And then Art says, thanks, guys. Enjoyed the stream. Well, thank you for coming in. I forgot to mention Nathan said goodnight, but thank you, Nathan, for coming in. Brian, Coco, Triple Feature, everybody. Antonis, thank you all. Pentagramma, thank you all for coming in. You guys are fantastic. I really love you guys. So thank you guys for coming in. So But we're going to end this. I'm going to say in with positive, out with the negative, go eat some Skittles. Garrett, what do you want to end with?
I'll end the same way I always end. Thank you guys for checking this thing out. And like always, stay rad.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. We love you guys.
Peace.